Hold on. Hold on. This thing's doing that thing where I have to change my settings all over again. Every time. Supremely annoying. Okay! That's better. That's better. Yeah. Oh dear. Wait, man. Anyway, hi, yes, hello, I'm here. I'm here, kind of. Yep. How's everybody doing? After, you know, I'm assuming everyone here has completed the Archon quest, by the way. If you haven't, you might want to watch the recording afterwards. Because, yeah. I'm probably going to be talking about things in it quite a bit. So yeah. You're warned, all right? That's my spoiler warning. I probably should have put that in the description box, but I'm a dum-dum and I didn't, so there's that. So there's that. I also haven't played it all today, so we're gonna do some really basic things, but also, no, not that. Not that. I wanted to turn this down. Like that. I can hear Paimon. Yay, commissions! I love not being able to see what I'm doing. Oh. Yeah, see? That's what happens when I can't see what I'm doing. Nope, didn't miss anything. I just started. How are my Scaramouche funds? They are pretty good. I was hoping to be a little bit further along, but I'm more or less on schedule, I think. I have currently 70,000 Primo Gems. I will say I'm not going to tell you guys anything about, like, what his kit is or anything, but I have seen it. And from what I've seen and the rough calculations I've worked on and what I've seen other people do for calcs, I don't think I'm going to go for a full C6. Which I think is probably going to be a little disappointing for some people. But the thing is, like, I don't think it's needed. I'm pretty confident it won't be needed, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna aim for C3. Also, the other reason why I'm, like, hesitant to actually try to go C6 is because I'm how do I put this? My luck is terrible. Like, my summoning luck is not great. And I know I'm gonna get screwed on the weapon banner. That's just how it goes. So I think it's better to go for, like, a C3R1 than it's going to be to go for a C6 and then get screwed in the weapon banner. So that's probably what I'm going to do. What I want to do. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. Also, yes, Alhatham's coming up, and I don't know when he's going to be here, but I'd like to have something to get a C0 for him, you know? That'd be nice. That would be nice. The weapon banner is so strange because, like, I feel like it'd be better if it had how do I put the I kind of would like it to just have one focus. Wait, no, not this one. I want to run freeze today. Today is a freeze day. Wait, this might be a dumb team to take. I have to beat an Eye of the Storm. Yeah, this is a dumb team to take for this. That's okay. I'm gonna do it anyway. And this is just a reminder, guys. Please don't spam questions in chat. Like, I'm not always looking at chat, and if I happen to see your question, I'll answer it. But, like, I can't possibly answer every question, realistically. So just know I'm not ignoring people. I just probably haven't seen it. But also try not to spam it because it kind of bogs down chat for everybody else, which is less than fun. Less than fun. But, oh. I don't have Nahida. Okay, so if I don't know that I can really answer any voice line questions about her right now because I haven't actually had time to go through all her voice lines yet. And I don't have her, so I can't do that now. So I don't know if I can answer that tortoise question. Especially because it's relating to Farazan, who we know like zip about. Well, we know a little bit about her, because there are some characters that have some dialogue about her at the academia, but like we don't know enough for me to be able to extrapolate any information from Nahida's lines. Oops. So I don't know if I can answer that. What's my favorite Dendro team? Right now, all
right, let's head off.
This one. This is my favorite Dendro team. Right now. It might just be because this is the only Dendro team I kind of have. Well, no, I have a Burgeon team too, which is kind of fun, but I have a C0 Toma. So he's really difficult to make him work well because he has horrendous energy issues. My goodness. I'm hoping. I really like. Ideally, I'd love to see him on Scaramouche's banner, so I could actually get some constellations to make him workable. I can't use him right now as he is, so there's that. Any theories on the Temple of Silence? Not really. The desert in general is kind of a confusing place to be. Partially because, like, half the stuff that goes on in the desert, you kind of need to not look at the English name for. You need to look at the Chinese name because it's not always... like, sometimes the Chinese has more of an overt reference, where it's more literal. But I'm also kind of waiting on more desert regions, because, like, we're going to head to the desert here in a second, actually. For reasons. Let's see. I do want to go to the desert. The plan was always to go to the desert this patch. It's just that, like... I'm having a hard time with the desert in terms of, like, coming to terms with some of its lore. And here's kind of why. A lot of the temples here, I can't tell if they were here prior to the arrival of the Goddess of Flowers. So they would be, like, you know, something that King Deshret put together. Or if they're a result of the Goddess of Flowers tutoring King Deshret. Like, I don't know, and I haven't been able to reconcile it. And so a lot of my thoughts about these buildings and their purpose and everything else really, really hinges on what actually happened between the Goddess of Flowers and King Deshret. And this is one mystery that, like, I could theorize about, but, like, I feel like I'm flying pretty blind. Like, I don't feel like they've done enough foreshadowing. Like, usually with areas, like new areas and stuff, there's a lot of little foreshadowing. You can kind of get the sense of, like, okay, yeah, this is probably what happened here. It's a little vague, but it's probably what happened. Here, it's like everything is a lie, and then you do the Archon quest, and then you realize that not only is this history, like, completely suspect just because of the academia, you know? Because the academia is fundamentally not understanding a different culture and kind of looking down on them, right? Not even kind of. I mean, they are looking down on them. So not only do you have that, so there's all that misinformation there, but you just have, like, this new possibility that history can actually be completely rewritten. And I'm sitting here wondering, like, how much, if any, of this history in this desert has actually been rewritten. And then I get stuck. So I don't have anything on the Temple of Silence because, like, I feel like whatever I say is going to be absolutely wrong and misguided because we don't have any, like, any real information. But it could be totally off base. It could actually be pretty straightforward, and it's not like something weird went down here. Oh, okay. We'll see. I saw someone ask if my chances of pulling Nahida went up after doing the quest, and no, it didn't really. The problem I have with Nahida is actually in her kit. I know a lot of people really love her, and don't get me wrong, she's like super strong, but the problem I have with her is like a lot of the characters I like to play want a lot of field time, and I don't like to have to keep swapping back to her in a Dendro team because Dendro teams take so much time to set up anyway, that if you have like a lot of little enemies, Dendro Traveler is better with his burst because he'll just continuously apply Dendro on field while she will not, because you have to take her out again to mark the new enemies after the old ones get defeated. So, like, I don't have a use for her right now. So, like, even if I like her in the quest, I think she's pretty good. In the quest, I don't have a spot for her on my team. Is kind of what it boils down to. So, yeah, so there's that. Anyway, I saw two questions. Do I still think Paimon might be a Seelie survivor after last Archon quest? Yes. But there's an asterisk there. So I did a poll a while back, asking, I gave people like 4 or 5 options of what theory video they wanted to see next, and everyone unanimously voted on the Seelie video. So I started working on the Seelie video, and I finished writing the script like the day before the patch came out. And I thought I could get everything done during patch night, and then I didn't. Yeah. But then the patch came out and it kind of like changed my perception on a lot of things, but it also kind of solidified the theory I had. But I still feel like I'm missing some information. So the thing about Paimon that's curious is that she has I want the nut. There you go. She has traits of both someone who's from Teyvat and then also someone who's from the Abyss, right? But she also has a lot of traits of the Seelies. And I think that's an intentional design choice by the developers with her. I think they intentionally design her to be as vague of an entity as possible. Because if you look at her, right? Like, she has clothing that resembles Celestia. She looks like she could be related to the Sustainer of Heavenly Principles, which would, if Nahida is correct, she may or may not be a Descender, depending on how you interpret that line of hers. And she has all of the callbacks of a Seelie, but she also can't get corrupted by abyssal energy, and she seems to be immune to overflown ley line energy too. So, like, I'm pretty confused about what she is, but I think whatever she is might be more important than just a Seelie. And I think a lot of people have thought she's going to be the god of time. I don't think she's the god of time, because that would mean she's Istaroth, which would mean her demon name is, like, Istaroth or Astaroth. And it would also mean that, potentially, Nahida should have somewhat recognized her, I think. Because I'm pretty sure that Istaroth is connected to the goddess of flowers for reasons I won't go into. So, I don't think she's the god of time. But I don't not think she's not a god. So, like, I think they're related, because I do think that Seelies... The term Seelie is actually a bit vague. Like, in the desert, we don't see them in-game, but in the historical records that we have, as in... and also in the fictional books that we have, we see a lot of mentions of the Jinn in the desert. And in Abrahamic mythology, or theology, I suppose I really should say, the term Jinn is a little ambiguous, because it can refer to a specific type of entity that's lower than an angel, but slightly, well, not even a slightly, but like an incorporeal entity that's not human, but also not an angel or a demon. But because the way a Jinn is defined is so vague, depending on where you go and as you cross cultural borders, throughout the Middle East and into Asia and even into Northern Europe, the term Jinn can actually be used to describe any type of supernatural being. And so I'm looking at this desert lore like Seelies and Jinn might actually be the same thing. But like a different species, you know what I mean? And so to figure out what Paimon is and if she's a Seelie and all that, you kind of have to decide what you think makes a god in this game. And that gets complicated because in Chinese, the gods in Genshin are actually called demon gods, which would make them demons, which means that Seelies would be likened to angels. But angels and demons can both be classified as Jinn, which means they could just be two different flavors of the same dish. You see what I'm saying? Like, I keep going in circles on Paimon too. I'm not quite sure what to what to make of her either. I have hot cocoa. Jinn are creatures that are made with fire. Like in the oldest texts, they are. But as biblical and Judaic and Islamic texts spread, the definition of a Jinn got kind of vague. And I honestly do think that Genshin went the vague route. And the reason for that... Oh, hey, look, a chest. And the reason I think that is actually because... Well, yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum. Sorry. I got distracted. Okay, so the reason I think they went the vague route instead is because if you read the books where they talk about the Jinn, everything a Jinn is and does matches up with the descriptions of Seelies perfectly. Like, from their physical descriptions, to their attributes, to their relation with King Deshret, like, everything about them is 100% on par with Seelies. And that's why I think they went that route. Why are you guys all so spread out? Like, come over here. Come over here. You guys are lame. Face me! You don't wanna. Cowards! Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Anyway, I feel like I didn't actually answer the question because I went off on a long tangent. What else is new? Nothing. Nothing's new. Nothing new under the sun. Did the king collect his 1,000 Jinn harem after the death of the goddess of flowers? He did collect 1,000 Jinn. That is a thing. But the thing is, again, because of the whole Irminsul thing, we now don't know how reliable any of the texts are. So we have to take everything with a grain of salt and try to find commonalities to figure out what may or may not actually be true. And that makes this even harder. Oh joy! Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Well, let's just enjoy the prettiness of this burst then. Because I'm a dumbass and I hit the wrong button. Yep. Okay, off we go. Raining in the desert. I did a good thing. I'm gonna nourish the ground. Yep. That's what we do's. Yum, bum. No, don't punch me. That's mean.
Looks like I went too far.
Anyway. Did I collect the last pages in the desert? What do you make of the stories? A lot of those stories are the kinds of the ones that I'm referring to, though, right? The 1,001 Nights? Or the 1,000... Is it just 1,000 Nights or 1,001 Nights? I can't remember. It's a reference within a reference. It's... those are kind of what I'm referring to. I'm actually missing pages on a few of them, but I read them on the wiki because I couldn't be asked to follow a guide to find them all. I will one day. I have... I don't want to go fishing either. I'm only missing a few, but I don't really want to go hunt for them. I mean, I might eventually. I mean, here I am running around the desert like maybe I could go get them now, but that would require, like, actually opening a guide, and I don't want to. I do not think Paimon is the god of time, because I don't think... I feel like demon names don't change. And if she was the god of time, then she would be Asmodeus. Not Asmodeus. She'd be Astaroth. And I don't think she's Astaroth. That was the point I was trying to make. Because she's Paimon. She's the god of something else. She calls herself the goddess of protection. Or the god of protection, rather. She doesn't call herself a goddess. And I'm wondering if there might be something in there. But I think Paimon is Paimon. At this point. Hey, Fencer! Thank you for the super chat. Do you have any preliminary speculation as to the goings-on in Fontaine and also why Folklores as opposed to, say, Fornius for the Hydro Archon? I don't know why Folklores over Fornius, actually. That's a good point. Fornius would have been a better one. I've heard a couple of people musing over this who are much more excited about Fontaine than I am. I'm kind of a wait-and-see kind of person in terms of Fontaine. I'm not entirely sure what to expect from that region in general. Mostly because I'm not sure what sort of mythology it's based on. I mean, like, it seems to be based on kind of like... It feels just very similar to Mondstadt, but a different time period. Oops. In terms of historical reference, I mean, I'm sorry. Because Mondstadt is, like, a considerable amount of Germanic lore, yes. But it's also, like, a lot of Grimm's fairy tales kind of references. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of the source material for those sorts of fairy tales are also from the regions that Fontaine's going to be based off of. So I'm a little lost on what they're really going to do there. So I can only speculate for now until I have time to, like, actually sit down and ponder thoroughly. But as opposed to why Folklores, something that was pointed out in Discord is that Folklores is specifically a demon that has controlled over both the wind and the water, and not just the water. And if I had to guess, If I had to guess, I like being tall. Being tall is fun. I actually think that they might have chose folklores just because I think it's pretty likely that the Hydro Archon will be based off of a character from Honkai called Sele. I don't know if it's Zele or Sele or Seal. Depends on who you ask. And she's notorious for having two personalities. And I'm kind of convinced that might be what we have here as well. Like a dual, like a split personality Archon. Like a 2-in-1. Kind of like Raiden Shogun, but also not really. Cause she's like she's an Archon within a robot body. But I feel like Zele or Steely or Cell or I don't know how you actually say her name. I just know how they do it in Star Rail, and everyone says it's wrong, and I'm just like, but that's how they say it in Star Rail. But I think that she would be like actually a split personality. So, but I mean, that's what would make sense to me. Why Sele? Because the only other one that makes sense is Dudu, and I don't think they'll do her. I mean, they might. I don't think they will. And the pool's kind of small, but Zele would make sense to me because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Murata for Natlan, and then we're gonna get Branya for Snezhnaya. So, you know. She just completes the pack, you know? I don't know how else to explain it. That's just my thought. Do you think we know who the other Descenders are? I think I saw, hang on. Well, I mean, we kind of might. It's gonna depend. It depends on a few things. But hold up a sec. Hold up a sec, because I think I missed something. Oh, J-Gamer, thanks for your super chat with a retracted message. I don't know what you wanted to say, but thank you for the message. I hope that it was well received, even though it was redacted. Do I think we know who the other Descenders are? How about yes and no and yes? Like, this is one of those things where it's like, it depends. Again. Oops. I hit the wrong button again. I hits the wrong button like a dum-dum. Nahida seems to think that the Heavenly Principles themselves were the first Descenders. So whether or not you think we know who the Descenders are depends entirely on whether or not you think Asmodeus or friggin' the Sustainer of Heavenly Principles is the Heavenly Principles, or if she's been, let's say, commandeered by the Heavenly Principles, you know? A lot of people have suggested that Alice is a Descender. I'm not convinced about Alice. Just because... how do I put this? Alice is too connected to this world. So I feel like if she was a Descender, she would know who all of the other Descenders are. And she probably would be making more references to the Traveler in turn that were like a bit more suspicious than she does currently. Like, Alice is suspicious, don't get me wrong, but she's not that type of suspicious. She just, I can't articulate that either. Like, I don't think it's her. Because the issue is that we don't know who the third one is, because if we assume, if we believe that the sustainer of heavenly principles is a descender, just for argument's sake here, if we believe that it is, then she would likely be the second who came. Or because she's not the primordial one, so she has to be the second. Or the third, but she's most likely the second because we have no records of the third. You see where the problem starts to be? Because they wouldn't have a primordial one, as in primordial being first, and then label a second who came, and then talk about 4 descenders as having no mention of any third party if we're the 4th one. You know, because our twin doesn't count as a descender because they're of this world, apparently. So either they are a descender along with us, and then their records just got screwed up, or they're not, and there's a 3rd descender that's missing. So I guess the thing is...
That's close enough.
What are you guys doing hiding in the sand? What the hell? What? What? That's a weird thing to do. Strange. Strange. Strange little eremites. Hiding in the sand. Like teenage boys at the beach. Oh, hey, look, I found a book. Or a page of the book. Yay, go me! Who needs guides? I just need to wander around aimlessly for 4 hours. Yeah. Should the primordial one be counted as a descender? Who knows? That's the thing. It's impossible to tell because it is possible that there are 8 descenders. And I'll tell you why I say that. If, in fact, there are 3 descenders prior to us, and our twin is a descender that's had its records wiped, and they would be the 3rd or the 5th descender, right? Or they are not counted as a 3rd or the 5th because together we count as 1 descender because we are a descendant pair. So it's possible that there could be 8 descenders that go in pairs. Although I'm not sold on that. But something that was brought up is that if there are descenders, there could also be ascenders. People who come from below and to go, you know, up instead of coming down from above. Ultimately, we don't know what we don't know, and we can't trust any of the books we have. Or any of the people we talk to. And that's the problem. The thing is I do think we can trust... I think we can trust Before Sun and Moon to a degree. Because Enkanomiya appears to be kind of... like, it kind of exists outside of Teyvat. Somewhat. Or at least it did for a time. And so I'm wondering if the records there weren't adjusted, because otherwise Conria wouldn't go for them. Because there are 2 specific books that Conria has gone for so far. They've gone for The Pale Princess and the 6 Pygmies, and then they've gone for Before Sun and Moon. And those are the 2 books that Conria specifically has gone for, claiming that they wanted to find proof that the heavenly principles do not belong to this world and they came from somewhere else. So they want to prove that the gods are aliens, basically. But they're looking at 2 different books. One of them is completely fictional, and one of them is a historical record from a scribe of supposedly the shade of the primordial one. So I think Before Sun and Moon and The Pale Princess are actually 2 of the most reliable books we have right now. In terms of figuring out what happened all them years ago. And that's all we can trust in terms of like things that have not been altered or that have been altered very little. But even they are not all that reliable because one of them is a fictional book. So there's that. In other words, this game just turned into one big, massive paranoia. Oh, holy shit, I didn't look at the screen. What happened? What happened? What are you guys doing? Stop it. Okay, hang on. Hey, hang on. Yeah. So much rambling. Playing games with one hand. I'm not good at that. Arturo, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. You did not have a question, though. I will be sad. Just a little bit, but I appreciate it. And just to be a little shit, I will do this in your honor. Woohoo! Run away! Velvet J, thanks for the super chat. Hey, love the content. Can't stop thinking that either God of War or Capitano will die in Natlan after clashing. What do you think? Yes and yes. If there's one thing I have learned from this game is that there's this one theory that people call slime theory that seems to be pretty accurate. And if we follow slime theory, it looks like the Pyro Archon's gonna self-destruct. So there's that. I'm not sure if Capitano will die. It's actually something I haven't thought about. I think Capitano has one of the highest potential to be playable among the Harbingers. Then again, it looks like most of the Harbingers will be playable in one form or another. Like, not to go off tangent, sorry. But now that we've seen Scaramouche, even though he had a pretty playable friendly model as it was, but now that we've seen him get a complete redesign to get playability status, it's very possible that Senora can come back as Rosaline, sorry, and get a completely new model. It's possible that Capitano could come back and get a completely new model. It's possible that basically all of them could come back with completely new models. So, like, anything goes at this point. I would be really surprised if they don't make the Pyro Archon playable. But what I wonder is if they'll build us up with a Pyro Archon and her successor, but we won't know that it's her successor. And then watch her die and watch the successor take over, and then that's the one that we get playable. That seems feasible to me, because like they can't keep doing, oh, it's always the same god, it's always the same god, it's always the same god over and over and over again, right? Like they can't keep doing that to us. It's the same trope over and over again. They can't keep doing it. I mean, I guess they can, but come on. I would like it if they didn't. I don't know that Capitano will fight the Pyro Archon, though. Because, like, so far, we haven't had any instances, apart from Senora, where the Harbingers were actually hostile towards the Archons. Most of the time, they're pretty amiable. You know? I don't foresee a situation where Capitano would have to fight the Pyro Archon. It seems unlikely to me, I'll put it that way. That's just my thoughts on it, though. I think out of the regions that are upcoming, I am most excited for Natlan, though. Mostly because the regions it's based off of, I feel like I don't see very often. Especially in video game media. So I'm pretty excited for Natlan the most, I think. That's what I think. Red crests are a pain, but scarabs are more of a pain. So I will count my blessings and pick my fruit. Oh wait, these aren't called red crests anymore, are they? Or are they? Are they still called red crests? Hang on. I have a brain worm. And now I must figure out are they called red crests still? They are called henna berries now. I knew it. I knew they changed. Which is cool. Except it's a little bit confusing because I'm probably going to show a little bit of ignorance here in terms of henna, but I thought henna was just the leaves and it wasn't a cactus. So I'm not quite sure why it's a henna berry. But then again, maybe I just don't remember the description of the thing. Hang on. Yeah, it doesn't even say. Wait. It's so annoying to have two different descriptions. Why do you have two different descriptions? Fruit that grows in the sand, right color, special treatment, make into a pigment. Yep. Was used as dye on the red fabric float. Okay. I mean, that's cool, but I mean, the real thing is not a cactus. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Anyway, sorry. I'm sidetracked. I get annoyed by the weirdest things. What do I do? I don't know what I'm... Hang on. Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, sorry. Emmanuel, thank you for super chatting. That's very kind of you. This is my first super chat ever. Just want to say hello. Really love your videos and hope you keep making them. Have a nice day or night. It is nighttime, but thank you very much. I hope you have a lovely one too. It's cold here. Not that cold. It's actually unseasonably warm, but it's still kind of chilly. You know how it goes. Sirius Lupin, thank you for the super chat. What was the energy used to maintain the dream in Nahida's story quest? Oh, you mean the one I can't pronounce? The Nyarga, that one. I can't pronounce it. Don't make me. I'm gonna butcher it. Yeah. I think it was that one. That should have been the same energy that they used for the Akasha in general, though, yeah? Because it didn't get mentioned that often, but I'm pretty sure the Akasha had this dream energy that was like nyar, oh dear. Something. It's something like that. I know the day is called Nyargarba Day or something along that line, but the energy was similar. I just can't say it without reading it off a piece of paper. Because I am a really dumb English speaker. And I am not that skilled in other languages. Even if I try. Yeah, I think that was it. John Wang, welcome to members. I hope you enjoy. And Dr. Gerbil, to you as well. Just a reminder that all members of any tier do get access to Discord. It's kind of my pseudo screening process, I guess, because very small moderation staff, so we're trying to grow slowly. So there's that. So if you're interested in joining a Discord with a lot of really, really nice and friendly lore people who like to discuss conspiracy theories within the context of Genshin, then it's a good place to be. It's a fun place. I like it. It's cozy. Of course, I'd say that. It's my server. Panero Jonas, thanks for the super chat. If the Heavenly Principles is a descender, does that mean that Celestia is not part of Tevat, or is she not a part of Celestia? I think probably the former. I would say the former. Because how do I explain this actually? How do I explain thought processes? That's hard. Hmm. All right, let me hit you with a slightly separate conspiracy theory, actually. So in the book Before Sun and Moon, it's talking about a Genesis story, right? About how the world was created by the primordial one. But the very first thing that the primordial one did was it came from somewhere else, right? So the primordial one, we know, is not of this world because they're not mentioned as creating this world. It says in the beginning, the world was created anew, and then the primordial one arrived. And before that, Viships ruled the land. But the thing is I've been thinking about this, and I'm actually not convinced that the world was ruled by Viships as in the dragons that we see these days. There was a lot of talk about Viship people a while back, and I don't think that Viship people exist in the way people think they do. But I was thinking about this in the context of like history being able to be rewritten, and how, say, Rukkhadevata is now a tree instead of a person. Like if you read the mushroom description, actually, hang on. It's in the extended description, so I have to go in here, which is the most annoying thing. So it says, like, right here. It says that there was a giant tree that the people called Rukkhadevata, right? And we know that Rukkhadevata was a god, not a tree, even if she was associated with trees, right? So we know that history was completely rewritten. So if we look at Before Sun and Moon kind of in something of a similar context, although maybe not in an Irminsul style rewrite, but like just history kind of distorting the past through the eyes of the victor kind of thing, I'm wondering if there wasn't a Seelie-like race that got called Viships. You know what I mean? And that maybe they evolved into Viships later. Or maybe that they are very similar to the gods that we have in Tevat. In the sense that, you know, like, Shao is a bird, but he takes a human form. I was thinking about things like that. If, like, the original race of Tevat was actually not Viships as we know them, but something kind of similar. I keep screwing up my rotation because I'm not paying attention. Not that it matters. Wait, who's still shooting at me? Oh, I hate those Dendro archers. They're so annoying. You, sir, are annoying. Silence! No, you won't. You're gonna take a long sand nap.
All yours, should you have any use for them.
Ta-da. Yeah. Alright, so my point is that regardless of whether or not the sustainer of heavenly principles is a descender, or if she's a shade of the primordial one, the point is that she's most likely an alien life form not native to Tevat, because I'm pretty sure not even humans are technically native to Tevat, because they were created by an alien invader god thing. Right? So no matter how... The only way it works that she's, like, native to Tevat is if she is what the people of Enkanomiya call Viships. And I don't think she's a Bishop. Anywho, that was a long tangent. I'm sorry. I want want a real life zip line like this where I can just like point at anything and just go shum. It's like having the hook shot in Zelda, but it's everywhere. Sorry. Anyway. I'm so far behind. Kira, thanks for the super chat. Do I think someone took as the... Oh, I think you meant... So I think someone took as of the infected Irminsul tree and planted some information that gives the appearance Lumine being of this world. Okay. So you think someone took some fabricated data and implanted it into Irminsul to make it look like Lumine was always there, yeah? Is that it? That is a possible theory. I'm still confused about the timeline of that whole incident, honestly. Like it still confuses me. Cuz it doesn't line up with what the traveler says in the very beginning of the game. So I'm still like so confused. And I'm wondering if the twin actually traveled through the world twice. That's where I'm landing right now. I think they've actually traveled through the world twice. And the reason why nuts is because I think they traveled through the world once looking for their sibling. And then I think they reached the end of their journey and the cataclysm in Conria happened. They found their sibling, tried to escape. Something happened with the sustainer who sent us back and separated us through space-time. And it just so happened that our sibling got entangled with this world and we didn't. And then they went through their journey again so that they could reach a state where they could remove their data from the tree. That is a very flimsy theory right now, but I'm trying to make the timelines work. I hate unreliable narrators. Just tell me what happened. Please. The suspense is killing me. Whee! Hello, little Sealy pal. You know the other reason why I think Sealies and demon gods in Tevater are connected is because these little guys look like very tiny statues of 7. Hey, look, a thing. I must not have gotten an obelisk around here. That was not what I meant to do. Oh well. It's not like Ayato can die. It's fine. It's fine. The thing I like about this team is that it's basically immortal. Yeah, I have missed a I've missed an obelisk around here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Don't know where it is. Lunar Rose, thanks for your super chat. Do you think it's possible that Ruka Devata and King Destrit could both have been branches, manifestations of the Irminsul tree, but lived as friends in the same time period like Kusanali and Ruka Devata? Oh, unlike Kusanali and Ruka Devata. I don't know. So, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Arinyani is actually a deity, like a real one, who, I forget the particulars. She was the daughter of some god, and then to protect her, they gave her to an Ashvata tree, who she then became the guardian of later on. I think that's how it goes. I am, if anyone's more up to speed on their Hindu mythology. You probably know this way better than I do. I need my cheat sheet for that one. But just because of her name, Arinyani, I really think that she was built to be from a tree, you know? But the thing is the Scarlet King and King Deshret, it's actually referencing one of the 7 Jinn Kings. And a Jinn King is a little different from a tree goddess or a tree god, and he has basically no plant associations whatsoever. So I'm not convinced he's actually, like, another manifestation of Irminsul, so to speak. I'm not quite convinced of that one. He has very different lore surrounding the source of his name. If he had some sort of additional name that we discovered that would link him to a special tree, then I think the theory would have a lot more weight behind it. But I haven't found any yet, so I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna auto attack this thing until it dies. Why? Because I can. Is it pitiful damage? Yes. Do I care? No. I've already been here. Where am I going? Run away! That's the problem with the desert, is I feel like I always end up going on the trails. That's the problem. Anyway. But yeah, it's the other thing is I pointed it out in the last video I put out, but Nahida is basically a keyboard and mouse, which is very fitting as an avatar of Irminsul, because it means that Irminsul is more or less like a computer or like a processor, you know? Like it's a giant hard drive processor type thing. And she's basically its haptic interface. But that doesn't mean she has a lot of clearance. And so Deshret would also have to be like that. And I'm not sure that he has enough evidence around his structures and stuff to really push that. This is basically it, you know? And we don't even know that this is him. We're just assuming. There's so many different animals around here, and we have no idea what any of them are. Like, who any of them are. Like, we can make guesses. There's one in particular that drives me freaking crazy that I don't know what it is. Well, I actually take that back. One of them I think I figured out what it is, but can I prove it? I don't know. We'll see. I'll show you. Hang on. I see you other people. Hang on. I must finish my train of thought. You see this thing? You see this thing? You see this thing? This thing right here. This is not a cat. I thought it was a cat. It's definitely not a cat. Mostly because that's not a cat's tail. And this is for sure not a cat's face. But I was looking at, like, Persian mythological creatures, and I think this might be a variation of a... Oh, I'm going to say this wrong. Is it a smurg? Oh, dear. I'm sorry. But it's got scales! Basically, it's like a type of Persian phoenix. And I'm pretty sure that thing might be referencing the goddess of flowers. I'm pretty sure. Because, like, the goddess of flowers has a lot in common with Isis, too. And Isis had a throne that she would wear on her head. Like, she was always depicted with either the horns, like Hathor, because she had a lot of association with Hathor. Or she was depicted with an Egyptian throne on her head. And this kind of looks like an Egyptian throne. And then if you look right here, Cookie's gonna like stand on top of one of what I'm gonna call the horns. So it's got 2 horns, right? And we know that the goddess of flowers had horns. I know it's not like literal horns, but still. Isis already was also depicted with wings. Anyway, that's that. I'm going somewhere else now. I wanna run around the desert like a dum-dum. What chess piece is a dendronosis? It's a bishop. Well, I think it's a bishop. Cardiga, Jaren, Sydney Starlight, welcome to the members. You are now an officially enrolled as a Sumeru Academia student. I didn't mean to go underground, oh man. My server's called the Sumeru Academia, which is why you're an examinee or a or a budding scholar. That's why it's like that. I labeled it that before Sumeru came out, okay? So don't, yeah, anyway. Anyway. Kira, thanks for the super chat. Do you think someone messed with Lumine's fate or Ether has his memories wrong? I think I kind of talked about that. I think it's a combination of both. Ether's proven... Well, not Ether. The Traveler has proven that their memories aren't 100% reliable, which again is a problem. They obviously remember a lot of things that are useful to us, and a lot of things that we as the player don't know. Just because of the way that they react and stuff to certain events that we'd be like, wait, why are you so suspicious or curious of that? That's odd. But like when we walked out of the Raiden Shogun's domain area, like Tenshukaku, yeah? We had those headaches, and we've been having these recurring headaches all the time. And I can't help but wonder if it's because something has tampered with our memory, but it's not Irminsul. Like it's bona fide amnesic kinds of things. Something got scrambled. That's what I think anyway.
That's close enough.
But I do think that the Abyss Twin is I do think that the Abyss Twin has also altered her fate in some way. So I do think it's both. I was playing with the idea that the Abyss Twin might have actually swapped places with us, and that it wasn't our twin that journeyed, it was us. And they learned something, and they figured they could save us from whatever fate it was. And so they swapped with us and then started a whole chain reaction. But I also think it's possible we're on a bit of a time loop, and that all of these things are true at the same time, which is why our memories are unreliable. But I think the loop would have actually started after the Abyss Twin changed their fate. Whenever and wherever that was. Aww. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Ta-da! I said I was gonna play Freeze today, and I've been playing Hyper Bloom. This is Team Swordies, because it's all swords. I was about to say I have hot cocoa, but I don't. I have cold cocoa. That's unfortunate. Nightmare! Thanks for your super chat. Hello, I love your videos. I have a feeling that the primordial one and his shades made the Irminsul tree, which is why they are a part of the current to that, and the second throne is not. That is possible too.
Your journey ends here.
That is also possible. Dum dum dum. I like freeze teams. I like freeze teams. Doody 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 doo. What was I saying? Oh, sorry. I got distracted. Yeah, I actually think it's possible because, like, in Enkanomiya, if you guys did the event in, I think, when was it? Was it 2.4? I think that was the Three Realms event. The one that introduced Enjo. Not introduced, but the one that brought Enjo back and gave him a voice because the actual quest didn't have a voice. Which, okay, Hoyo, whatever. That makes sense. If you did that one, they talk about 3 realms. The human realm, the light realm, and the abyssal realm, or the void realm, right? But void and abyss in certain contexts actually use the same characters, I'm pretty sure. So they might be interchangeable to a certain degree. And it's possible that the primordial one used the Irminsul tree or developed the Irminsul tree to stitch the realms together. Dum-dum. Okay. Okay, just circling me. Mean. I think I've probably gotten all the red crests I can use. I forgot I had the treasure compass on. Oh dear. But yeah, I still think that the Irminsul is being used as a kind of way to keep all the realms together when they probably shouldn't be. When they should probably all be separate. Forced. Foxpup, thank you for your super chat. Hello, glad to catch you while you're live and hope you and your pups are well. My pups are well. I mean, they're outside being a pain in the ass, but Levi has decided that my spot on the floor is his spot on the floor now. Which means that whenever I turn around, he's always laying on my pillows. And those are my pillows. Not that he cares. He's like, what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. Not that he has a lot of things, but you know. Still. No, they're good. Had a nice long walk today. Though I think Finny's... I lost my nail clippers, my doggy nail clippers. Not my human ones. That'd be a weird thing to tell somebody. That you lost your nail clippers. No, I lost my doggy nail clippers. They need to trim. Yep. I guess that's still a weird thing to tell people that you lost your dog's nail clippers. Because why would they care? Well, they're doing good. They're doing good. They're cute. They little cuties, but they also probably want to come in. That's okay. They can come in later. They have fun outside. They'll sleep well. Talking about the same dogs that, like, spend all night outside in negative 20-degree weather because they're crazy.
Happy to oblige.
No, they just have thick fur. Anyway, thank you. Cream, thank you for the super chat. Wow. Appreciate this. You guys are always so, what's the... Look at the big thing! Sorry. You guys are always so generous. You really are. Cause like you guys can just chat $1. Like that's fine. So just this is awkward. Bye. Hi, just wanted to say thank you for doing the lore videos you do. I have dyslexia and struggle with reading a lot, but your lore videos really help me feel like a genuine part of the community. You're wonderful. Well, thank you! I'm glad they help.
Following orders.
Sometimes it's hard to find time or energy or just the will to read these things. Because, like, to be fair, a lot of the stuff in-game that's not dialogue, that's voiced, because obviously voice dialogue is usually okay to process, for the most part.
Looking for trouble?
A lot of the stuff that's written in this game is written in not the most friendly of manners. How many of you here have actually read Vera's Melancholy, for example? How many of you have actually read that book? And if you have read that book, look me in the eye and tell me it's not a freaking crazy mess and you wouldn't understand what was going on at all if it was an actual book. And better yet, if you've read either of those, well, if you've read Vera's Melancholy and you don't think it's confusing, I will ask you then if you've read The Boar Princess and if you think that's not confusing. The Boar Princess is one of the most strange books in the whole game. So I'm glad to be of service because not everyone has time to go through all this stuff. Which is interesting, you know, because, like, I really like when games are okay with you missing things. Because it makes a lot of stuff feel like it's a genuine secret. You know what I mean? I kind of like that. But at the same time, there's just, like, a lot. So if you feel like you're missing out, that's overwhelming. I get it. Anyway, I'm glad I can help. Glad I can help. I'm glad I can be in a position to help, too. Whack. Yum, 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 yum. I want some treasure hoarder lore. When am I gonna get more treasure hoarder lore, huh? I know more about the Eremites now than I do the treasure hoarders, and I've been fighting these things since 1.0. What does that tell you? Mushrooms. Do I think Elazar scales and bishops are related? No. It's funny, I actually just had this conversation earlier today in Discord. Elazar is interesting because in Chinese it's called demon scale disease, and obviously the demon in that isn't referring to bishops. It's referring to demons as in demon gods, which is probably why they named it Elazar, because Elazar actually means God has helped or touched by God, depending on your translation. And since demons and gods are somewhat synonymous in Genshin, you kind of see the connection there, yeah. So I don't think they're connected to bishops, despite the scales. I think the scales are actually more a sign of crystallization than they are literal scales, just because of, like, the effects of it. And it's interesting because the actual disease in-game is very similar to a real disease. The real name of which I'm not even going to try and pronounce, but its friendly name is called Stone Man's disease because it literally calcifies your entire body, like your skin, your organs. Basically, any tissue that gets regenerated gets turned into bone. So eventually you get completely paralyzed. Which sounds a lot like Elazar when you start to think about it, because, like, Elazar kind of revokes all your movement and then solidifies the skin and causes internal bleeding and among other things, and then you kind of, like, lose all movement and die. So, yeah. Well, that's depressing. But bishops are from the light realm. So I kind of feel like if it was a bishop thing, it would be different. I don't know how to articulate. I feel like it would be a different type of mutation. Look, a nut! It's mine now. I got a nut. Woo! Alright, I think I've kind of mined this place for red crest as much as I can. Luma, thanks for the super chat. Two things. One, do you think it's possible that Irminsul is the one giving visions to Citta Celestia? And two, do you think Asmodee is an artificial being based off of the Hersher of the Void from Honkai? I don't think they're artificial, necessarily. I mean, I kind of get where you're coming from with that. I think the nature of Susty here is entirely dependent on... Did I get all the... I must have, because I can read it. Yeah. I think that's entirely dependent on what you think the beginning of this world actually looked like and who the primordial one is. Because if you think of the primordial one as like a Hersher of Reason that's using 4 divine keys to basically re-terraform a planet, and then the Bishop says Honkai beasts, then, I mean, you could easily look at the Hersher of the Void being the second who came, being a Hersher of sorts, right? But I don't necessarily think it's artificial. I mean, I guess it's possible. I guess it's possible. I really want to see the Sustainer, like, in person again. Because we saw her for, like, a minute at the beginning of the game, and we haven't seen anything since. And I'm like... it'd be nice to get something. Anything at this point. Aww. Why are there so many mushrooms? Whoa. Speaking of shroomies. Hello, little shroomies. Oh dear. Do-do-do. Mine now. Like I need any more Mora. I guess I collect it for the sake of collecting it now, huh? Yeah, sorry, I don't think she's artificial. I think she's probably legit. I just... Who she is and the nature of her and everything is just completely dependent on who you think the primordial one is or was. But do I think it's possible that Irminsul is the one giving out visions? I would say that seems... It seems believable. I just can't quite figure out why. You know what I mean? Like, on the one hand, I totally get it. And on the other hand, I'm like, but why? Because it seems like something that would be within its capabilities. But what would be the point of Irminsul giving out visions? And that's the part that I can't reconcile right now. We just don't have information for it. Anyways, lizards. This place is pretty cool. I do like that they're not real torches too, because like real torches inside of tombs like this are kind of dangerous. Except that one's a real torch. How come this one's a real torch and the other ones aren't? You go out. You're dangerous. You're gonna make things explode. Safety first. My new company is all about safety and peace of mind. They made us do a 1-minute meditation before a meeting started the other day. Like an actual guided meditation with like 40 people in the room. It was very strange. I don't miss corporate all that much. Okay, to be clear, I've got nothing against meditation. It was just like a really weird timing thing. I've never done meditation like right at the start of a meeting. It was very, very, very strange. Very disorienting. I don't know what I'm doing down here, actually. I'm just wondering. I like the desert. But maybe I don't like it that much. Well, no, that's not true. I like it a lot. But... I'm gonna go somewhere else. Alright. That's Lisa. I don't know if I said that right, but hello, thank you for your super chat. What do you think about part of Fontaine being underwater as a reference to Atlantis, or is that too Greek to appear anywhere other than Enkanomiya? Thank you so much. Your brain brings me joy. Thank you. My brain brings me, well, cognitive function, I guess. Is there something behind that? What's behind here? There's a hole. I want to go in there. Can I go in there? I want to go in there. Oh, no, okay. I guess it's not really a hole. Hi, beetle. I think it's very likely that Fontaine will be underwater. Do I have any proof? I don't know if I have any proof. I don't know if it'll be like an Atlantis reference. But let me put it to you another way. Right now, it's looking like Fontaine, the nation of water, is going to be landlocked. Which is strange when you think about it. So the only way I can really think about justifying a completely landlocked water nation type thing is if there's a lot more water underground, or it's like an incredibly huge lake and they make like an Avalon reference, right? But if they make an Avalon reference, an Atlantis reference would also be really cool. I'm not sure if they actually meant for Enkanomiya to be the Atlantis reference, but I also don't see any reason why we couldn't have more than that. Like, we could have multiple Atlantises. I don't see why not. I mean, there are entire classifications of sunken underwater lost cities, you know? So I don't see why it couldn't be Atlantis-like. Even if it's not like Atlantis straight up, it could easily be one of those. But it's just, like, a landlocked water nation is so strange to me. So, like, there has to be something more to it. And the only thing I could ever think of is if, you know, we went underwater. Also, that's kind of my coping because I really, 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 really want underwater exploration. So I figure if we're ever gonna get it, it'll be in Fontaine. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want the water. I've talked to some people about it and they're just like, oh no, I'm afraid of going deep underwater. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not actually underwater. They're like, yeah, but it's still creepy. And I'm like, okay, but it's cool. I want to dive. I want like iron boots like in Zelda and I can go all the way to the bottom of the ocean. And breathe because physics is a lie. And I can breathe water. Like a fish. Sorry, I distracted. Anyway. But no, I think the Greek references are fine. I mean, this, you know, Sumeru is full of Greek references. Like a lot of Greek references. Which makes sense because there were a lot of Greeks in Persia. You know? So that checks out. Um, that was actually one of the appeals. Is that it was like Persia was a great place to study. So a lot of great Greek thinkers studied there. It really, like, great thinkers from all over studied in the Persian Empire for that reason. Like, it was just like a wonderful amalgamation of different perspectives and points of view and religions and outlooks, and it was a very tolerant place because it was heavily centered on academics. So people were more interested in trying to figure out how other people thought than they were, you know, making a mess of each other. So there's that. So no, I don't think it's too Greek. I do not think it's too Greek. Where's the Dendro thingy? Oh, there it is. Gimme, 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 whack. Smickety smack. Yeah. Give me that sweet, sweet primo. Alright, I got 2 whole gems. What am I up to now? 28. Nice. Lucky number 28 today. Woohoo! Sorry. Now, if the primordial one created the world, he should belong to this world. No, so he shouldn't be a descender. Okay, that entirely depends on your definition of create. Because
Your journey ends.
you could look at it as if he created this world. I don't know why I did that.
Lord of Sand, your sacrifice is ready.
Oh, come on, really? No crit? Mean.
The golden slumber.
I feel like you'd have, like, the way I see the primordial one's relationship with this world, he didn't create it so much as he repurposed a bunch of stuff that was already here. He recycled. But that's not creation. Like, he didn't create the world from nothing as far as we know. Like, it basically just took the light realm and remolded it until it became the human realm. So in that way, they could still be not of this world and they came from somewhere else. Especially if you believe in ancient astronauts in Genshin. Not in real life, in Genshin specifically. I mean, I'm not going to judge someone for believing in ancient astronauts in real life either, but, like, I just want to be clear on what I'm referring to right now. Someone wants to believe in the aliens, then by all means. Oh, what? Where'd he go? This elevation is infuriating. Mine. Ooh, also mine. Just a little curious, do you think Nahida and Rukkhadevata share a demon name? And do you think Belial Muchi still has hope? Yes. Okay. No and yes. In that order. The problem with Boor is that we're never gonna know. Because she's literally been deleted. We can't find a historical record. Nahida won't know. And if Nahida doesn't know, no one will know. So the only person who could possibly know is the Abyss Twin. If the Abyss Twin's memories can't be altered. Or maybe Dainsleif. But I don't think we'll ever find out. Like, I legitimately don't think we're ever gonna know. So, like, I don't know. And again, this also comes back to, like, whether or not you think they're different people, which is probably why we're never gonna know. Because if they have the same demon name, then you could argue that they are the same person, right? But if they don't have the same demon name, then they are completely different people. So I feel like in an effort to keep things somewhat vague, Hoyo is never going to tell us. and I don't know what I believe. Now, as far as Scaramouche as Belial goes, that actually has more weight than I initially thought it did, because if you look at texts like the Testament of Solomon and stuff, Belial is actually listed as being a son of Beelzebub. So I don't know how much more overt you need to get, but if he had a demon name, it's Belial, and I'm convinced of it, and no one will convince me otherwise. And there's a compass somewhere. I mean, there's a chest somewhere. We gonna find it. Jump off the cliff. We gonna find it. It's probably underground, huh? That would be kind of funny. Who knows? Not me. Meat! It's what's for dinner, not for my dinner. Actually, that's not true. I did have meat for dinner. It is for my dinner.
Catch the wind.
I don't know where it goes. It just says down. It just says down. I don't want to go down. I don't know where the entrance is. There's so many caves. There's so many caves. And no underground maps. Which doesn't help. Maybe we'll just let this one go. Because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to. 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 Whee! Somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. Red Riding Hood! Welcome to Sumeru Academia. Your coronation begins soon. Oh, Jesus, wow. Melkandor, thank you for the 20 gifted. And congrats to the 20 random people who get memberships now. Oh, look, there's another one. And it's also down. Everything's down. Everything's down below. Yep, everything's down below. That was extremely generous. Thank you very much. And if you got it gifted, say thank you to Melkandor. Like you're a child and your parent is telling you to thank the bakery manager that you got a cookie. Thank you, Melkandor. I don't know why I'm fighting these. I don't need to do this. I'm running away now. Bye. I'm actually probably like really behind in chat because it stopped moving. So hang on. Let me get out of the danger zone and then also not have and catch up. I need to actually catch up. And maybe find a cave. I don't know where the caves are. Moon, thank you for your superior chat. Superior super. Super superior. More super. Greetings from the Middle East. It's almost 4 a.m. because I barely slept. No, go to bed. Which region is your favorite to explore? Mine is the desert, even though I can walk outside and see it, but IRL, it's too hot. Yeah. Also, it's probably a lot easier to traverse it in a game than it is in real life, because walking on deep sand is a real pain. Not that I've ever actually been to, like, okay, that's not true. I've been to a real desert. My state does have a desert. It's just very small. And it's, I'm like in a very snowy region, so like, you'd be like, wait, why do you have a desert? I've got a desert. Like a legit desert. It's small though. But like mostly around here, it's like beaches, right? You go to a really sandy beach, lots of deep sand. I hate running around in deep sand, but I love desert regions in games for that reason. Because I hate running around in the sand. Don't wanna. No! Go away, mushrooms. I'm trying to catch up. I'm running away from my life. Well, not really from my life. Those things can't kill me. I'm invincible. Oh, hang on 1 second. My puppies would like to enter the building. Yes, cuties. Hi. Hi, Lily. Hello. Who's a cutie pie? Are you a cutie pie? Yes, you're a cutie pie. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, we like butt scratches. I know. What a good boy. What a good boy. But don't look at me like that. It's not playtime. I'm not playing with you right now. He has decided to go cuddle with his sister on the couch.
Come on, let's get moving.
I like that he does that by choice. Anyway, I am so behind. Holy shit. Wow. Sorry. Eric Boncor, thanks for your super chat. Love your vids. Just checked the chess match, Deep Blue versus Kasparov, and it would show 2 draws for Fontaine and Natlan, and Fatui wins in the last 2 regions. Yeah! It means that they win. They, like, win. They totally win, which is weird. Because I kind of thought they'd get thwarted, but, like, they might actually succeed. Which is kind of wild to think about when you know? It's kind of wild. But it also, but what that tells me is that whatever the Fatui are doing is probably not detrimental to us as the player and the traveler. Like, their methods might be reprehensible, but their end goal might be in line with what we want to do. Which also might be why it's looking like a lot of the Harbingers are gonna be playable. When I would have been confused about that previously. Alright, listen, I hate fighting in water! I was gonna make a comment and then I realized I can't make that comment. because reasons. Boy, I can't wait till I don't have to fight in water anymore. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Sage Ryoku. Thank you so much for your super chat. That was unnecessarily generous. Good lord. You should use that on pulls or I don't know, a really nice pie. And again, I don't know where you would find a pie quite that expensive. We would have gold leaf on it. Gold leaf is expensive. Oh, sorry. Good luck on Scaramouche. Here are some wishes. I'll pester you about Genshin D&D stuff on Discord at some point. Oh, yes, that's right. You mentioned that. I completely forgot. I have been, like, flat out recently. But I'm caught up now, and it looks like we're gonna have a couple of chill patches where I can just do theories and stuff. So I am more available for that. Yeah, hit me up on Discord. We'll help you out with the D and the D. That's gonna be interesting, actually. I haven't done a D&D campaign since high school. What's that say? I used to play on the boat to school. And no, I didn't misspeak. I mean boat, not bus. I took a boat to school. Cause yeah. I just realized I have like a bunch of resin to spend. What talent book day is today? What talent book day is today? Hold up. Oh, today is a good day. But yeah, Jesus, just completely unnecessary, but greatly appreciated. I will put that towards my Scaramouche funds. Maybe we'll use that for weapon pulls. But yeah, wow. I'm a little flabbergasted at the moment. But thank you. Thank you very much. Alucium Academy, also thank you for your super chat. And there's a bunch of people joining members. Welcome. Oh, I missed some. Okay, hang on. They time out so fast. Why? J Gamer, thanks again for your super chat. In the new quest, Dotori used a sound weapon as a test, and he said it failed on gods. Nahida was fine, Paimon wasn't. Does this disprove her as a god? I think what it disproves is her as a god of Tevat. Which is kind of different. I don't know why I did it in that order. That was a dumb order. I think it disproves her as a god of Tevat. Because I do still think she has god potential. I just think that she might not be of the same build as Nahida. Because we know that the Traveler isn't human, because they're like tens of thousands of years old, and that would be crazy. So they must be some kind of deity, right? And since there's some kind of deity, then Paimon could easily be some kind of deity as well. It just means that she's not the same kind of deity that Nahida is. So maybe it would have been more accurate to say that it's not effective on certain types of demon gods. I'm not sure. But it is one of the things that's been confusing me about Paimon, specifically. Yeah. Why does it keep swapping to Kaya? I swear I'm pressing Kazuha. Whatever. Okay. So strange. Are my rotations scuffed? Yeah, just a little bit. Fake. Thanks for the super chat. What happened to the capsule that Alhaitham had the Traveler record? It was different from the ones used later. Does it still know about Rukkhadevata? I don't think it mentioned Rukkhadevata in it. The capsule that Alhaitham had the Traveler record, I think, was also part of the plans with the ones that they were swapping out, right? Because what Alhaitham was trying to do was to prove that, well, it's a big brain prove, I guess, to Azar, to make Azar think that we thought one thing was happening when another thing was happening. But I'm pretty sure that that was one of the things used in the quest, although I forget which one it was. Because he swapped out the order. That was one that he did. Why is this guy all the way over here? Hi. Okay, it's not very effective to go to the other side, I guess. I'll remember that. I'll remember that. I have to check the footage again, actually, because, like, one of the capsules he recorded actually had his report in it. And that was the one Azar did. I think that was the one that we recorded stuff on. And then there was another one that had the new command. And then he had another one that he made look like a divine knowledge capsule. But I'm pretty sure the thing that we recorded was in the report that he gave to Azar. I'm pretty sure that was it. Because the point of it was to make us look like a scapegoat. I don't think it had any mentions of Rukkhadevata in it, though. Alright, we're gonna try and make sure I can actually, like... Kazuha? There it goes. There it goes. There we go. That's better. I'll check. I don't remember it mentioning Rukkhadevata. I'll check. I'll check. Sam Kidd. Thank you for your super chat. Quick question. If Dendro is to dreams, what about the other elements? Thanks for your lore videos. Anyways, a nice watch. Well, thank you. I think the point was that dreams and knowledge, in the case of Ruka Devata, were synonymous. So it's not so much that Dendro is the element of dreams, it's the element of knowledge, but it's like knowledge through dreams, like subconscious knowledge. That was kind of what I took out of it. But I'm thinking it's probably no different than, you know, Venti's freedom or Zhongli's contracts and that kind of stuff. I don't think it's different. That thing's flying and I can't reach it because I'm using swords. Oh, wait, no, it's dead. Well, I wasted a burst. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So if you really break it down, it's freedom, contracts, eternity, and wisdom. But it's like contracts through fairness, freedom as in freedom of choice, eternity as in transience, and then wisdom as in dreams. So none of them are like a complete one-to-one. Doody 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 doo. Whee! I can't wait till December. That's when I get C6 Kaya. I want a fourth little icicle go roundy round. Oh. Oops. Oh. No, that's what I want to do. That's fine. I need a lot of books. Do I still have resin? Oh yeah, I do. I can do a couple more runs. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Wait, did Milkador just donate another 20 gifted? What the hell? What is happening? What is happening? Why? I mean, thank you, but why? Y'all are nuts. Oops, I missed. I missed like a wonderful gamer. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, okay. Well. I think that's 40 gifted. What the hell? You seriously just gift people 40 memberships? What the heck? Yeah, you did. What the... What? Jeez! Thanks! Also, what the hell? Sly Boots, why do you think Twiggy wears a clover like Klee? I think the clover is more like a modified version of the quaternary knot. And that's seen basically everywhere. I still think Klee's clover and Twiggy's clover are more or less just renditions of that to make it look more botanical. Okay. Oh, I hate these flying things. Stop flying. Come down here and fight me like a man! Bam! Yeah. One more. But yeah. It's really, I think it's really just a quaternary knot, which I could look at. I don't have a Tignari though. He's not in my squad. I haven't gotten a single 5-star in Sumeru. Not a one. Oh, that was fast. Not a single one. I'm hoping to get one in December. Maybe I'll do something cool then. I'll do more than... Anyway, I wanted to pull up the archive and I can't do it in a domain. Hang on, hold up. Twiggy! Yeah, I think he's just, I think he's just a, like a quaternary knot kind of thing. I mean, yeah, it is a clover. But I don't know. Because you could argue that Zhongli also has one. It's just super square. It could also be a sign of the Amurta. The Amurta? Like the Darshan. It could also be a sign of that. Yeah, I don't know. I've been wondering why he has an earring. He's got a lot of accessories. For a guy that wears a hoodie. Just saying. Twiggy is so funny because out of all of the characters in Genshin, he is the one that reminds me the most of a Kingdom Hearts character. He reminds me so much of a Kingdom Hearts character. Oh, dear. Oh, there's a chest, but where? That way? Okay, we go that way then. We'll find something somewhere. Hunting where? It's interesting though. The other place you see the whole clover thing is actually in Storm Terror's lair. Oh, it's still this way. I don't see any chests. Is it lying to me? Of course it's not. But you never know. Leave me alone, slimes! Wow. You're really gonna chase me, huh? Gimme! Oh? It's underwater! What? What? I can open underwater chests? What? Alright then. That's cool. I learned something new. Mystery Menalism. But what is that name? Thanks for 5 months. Oh, man. Time does fly, doesn't it? This year's gone by so fast. So fast. Oh, my God. 5 months is at least... No, it's not. It's not 8 years. 5 months is at least 8 years. In what country? Oh, right. Conria. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Smack, 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 smack. Whack! I guess that was kind of dumb since he has so much cryo resistance, huh? Well, whatever. It's okay. No one cares. Not even me. Lucium Academy, thanks for your super chat. Does Nahida's jumping song have any lore significance? I mean, it might. It's hard to say what it is, though, because you can't really stream it string it into anything. I think if anything, it's probably just a little bit of an Easter egg, because like the other person who has those sorts of things in her attack kit is Lisa. Lisa also has like a bit of a song in her normal attack string. So I want to err on the side of that's probably just like a cute little Easter egg thing as opposed to a deep lore kind of thing. But I'm not the best person to ask about musical stuff. But I know people who might be able to answer the question. So I will probably end up asking them. But I don't know that it's significant yet. Maybe it will be. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, well my actual goal of tonight was to spend my resin and to actually... Oh, I haven't done my bounties. Oh, I should do those. Let's do those. I haven't done the things. I was trying to just harvest some red crest, and I'm oh my god, I'm like an hour behind on chat. What the hell? Why does it stop moving? Okay, Melkindor has gifted 60 memberships now. 60. 60. Why? Why? I'm gonna put your wallet in timeout. That's a thing I can do, right? Can I do that? I feel like that would be a nice thing for me to do. Cause that's a lot. That's a lot. But I will tell you that my editor appreciates it. He appreciates it very much. Jesus. Oh, I don't know what to say, man. You guys are just all so warm and fuzzy. And Melkindor is 60 times fuzzy. So what the heck? What in the flippin' heck? But also, that's enough. Stop that. Oh my god. I'm finally getting to a super chat about a super chat from like an hour and a half ago, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so far behind. I'm so sorry. I'm horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I have the attention span of a magpie. In a jewelry shop. Hey, look, it's these guys. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Quack, quack. Dum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum ba-dum. Bum bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. Bum bum ba-dum 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 ba-dum. Bum 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 bum. Yay! They didn't drop anything, which makes me sad, but that's okay. That's okie dokie. Luma, thanks for the super chat. I mean artificial as in homunculus based off of the Hersher of the Void sent to Tivat as part of the second form of Honkai, maybe as part of the arc. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the homunculus thing. There is still is that whole thing about Rhindaughter and the Primordial Human Project, you know? Where she was trying to, I mean, basically recreate a primordial human, I guess. Or the first man, I guess. But like the term primordial in this case, I think, if memory serves, is the same one used for original in Original god is in the title of the game. So I'm sure whatever it was that she was working on is somewhat related, but I'm not sure about the homunculus thing. I'm not totally convinced. Just because, like, if it was, it would imply that Albedo has a demon name. She feels like an organic entity to me. Although there's nothing to say that she couldn't be a homunculus. It's just the only homunculus we have to base anything off of is Albedo, and I don't think she feels a whole lot like Albedo. If anything, Albedo feels more like the twins. Owie. She's very mean. No drops. No drops makes me sad. I know the bounties don't usually drop things, but I always expect them to. But it is worth pointing out, though, on the topic of the second, that the Hersher of the Void was the second Hersher. If I'm remembering correctly. So there is that. There is that. Oh, hey, look, a time trial. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. Whoa, those hilly trolls just like dropped down from the ceiling like a Rishbolan tiger. Oh, well, all right then. Let's go to the time trial. Da 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 da. Where'd it go? It's this away! Hi, little dude. Oh my god. I'm still, like, incredibly behind, aren't I? Antoine, thank you for your super chat. Do you know Fontaine's song in the storyline trailer is a reference to Aquarium from the French composer Camille Saint-Saëns? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I did not know that. But again, I'm not a very good... Oh. What the hell was that puzzle? Well, alright then. That was fun. Okay. I did not, but I'll make a note of the aquarium thing, and take a look at it later. 'Cause I don't even think I've heard that song, but there might be some juicy info in it. So I appreciate you sharing. Not that I'm calling you Sharon, that's probably not your name. You know what I mean. You get the idea. My cocoa is very cold. Cold cocoa. Very cold, but still delicious. Corey. Oh, man, thanks for the super chat and the horrendous joke. If it's Albedo, it's more like homunculus. Ha 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 ha. Oh, okay, the only Albedo that is not a hunk is the one in game. I said what I said. He looks like a bug. I won't even apologize. I mean, seriously, look at this face. Look at him. Look at him. He looks like a bug. He looks like a bug. He looks like a human version of something from A Bug's Life. He does. Then you look at his art and you're like, oh man, he's pretty. And then you look at him in game and you're like, what the fuck? What happened to you? What happened? Oh, that's someone's butt, sorry. Let's go somewhere else. Yeah, bad joke. Clap, clap, clap. Sino claps for you. Jiren, thanks for your super chat. Assuming Genshin could be Project Arc, do you think it's possible that the primordial one could be Alicia since she's a Hersher of origin, and the primordial one translates to that one of origin? Their story is eerily similar. Yeah, I mean, that would explain a few things if that ends up being the case. But I'm also not entirely sure. Because, like, she might be the Hersher of origin, but she's still not, like, the will of Honkai, right? So she's still not the highest in that hierarchy, if you know what I mean. This is not where my commission is it? Or my thing. Oh, there he is. I am so far off base, I just wasted my whole burst. That's okay. Whoops. I am a professional. Oh, man. There's a couple of things that I think Alicia is related to in this game, but, like, I still think that the will of Honkai is still technically above her, isn't it? Because, like, she wouldn't exist without it. Then again, I guess I don't really understand. Like, the whole Elysian realm thing was very, very confusing. And it kind of felt like they started off with one and then changed it to something else. And but I remember also them saying that she's technically the Hersher of human ego. So she's like the Hersher of humanity. More so than that she's like the Hersher of origin. I know she's Hersher 0. But I don't know. It's hard to say at this point. I'm actually leaning less towards Arc and more towards Stigma at this point. Like I think there's a connection to be made between the two, but I think overall. Wait a minute. Is that thing like literally on? I am seriously 10 points away from maxing my reputation. What? Are you kidding me? I don't want to do any of these. I have to wait till next week. Come on! That's aggravating. Alright, well, whatever. Is what it is. That's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I forgot my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought. I went completely off the rails. Oh, right, Stigma. I'm in the camp. Genshin is probably more like Stigma than Arc at this point. Like, I think there's some merit into calling it Arc, but there's so much about Genshin that is just like Stigma that I can't shake that feeling. You know what I mean? It seems more likely to me at this point, especially with this whole, like, multiple dream space thing and all of these, I don't know, domains that are, like, semi-connected but also not connected, and, like, time is an illusion, and it's I don't know. I'm more in Stigma now than I am in Arc, I guess is the bottom line. It makes more sense to me. But I guess we'll see. The one thing I will say is that Alicia's flower dome looks a lot like the well, I don't know if we can see it right now because the moon is really bright. It looks a lot like the mandala skybox. It was one of the first things I thought of when I first saw her ultimate. Like, she creates that big crystal flower dome thing, and then like the pattern on the top, I was just like, hey, wait a minute. She's creating a firmament. So, like, in that way, it makes sense. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think, though, if Genshin and Honkai are directly connected, Alicia's dead. So it's hard to use her as a origin point. Like, I suppose she could be recovered from a backup or something similar. And I know, like, you know, there's a simulation of her somewhere. But she's basically dead. So it's hard to imagine her in a Honkai type scenario doing anything with Arc. Dunno. Dunno. Oh, hey, look, I'm caught up! Hooray! Slimebo, wait, actually, how do the Fatui know about the Descenders anyway? Who is getting and giving them the information? The Saritsa, Piero, or Dottore? I would say Piero, if I had to guess. Because 1.1 Unreconciled Stars talked about how the sky was a lie, and Scaramouche was all like, well, the Jester must have known what we'd discover here. And since he must have known what they discovered, it means he already knew the sky was fake. And we already know that Conria was looking for proof that the gods weren't of this world. Because that's why they sent the delegates to Enkanomiya, right? So if Piero is from Conria, which we know he is, and Conria already knew the sky was false, and Piero was running the Fatui, then it makes sense to me that he's the one that had some level of information on it. You know? Come a little closer. You will not defeat a bird in aerial combat. I am Danger Bird. Sorry. Xiao, thanks for your super chat. What if it's not Celestia or the Abyss, but instead Irminsul that's the evil force of Tevat? Everything relies on its health and it controls history. I would argue that there's no evil faction in Genshin. Like, this is kind of a contentious point. It got me into a lot of trouble on Twitter saying this once. I had a lot of people get very angry. But the thing is morality is relative. Like, you can look at some things and say, like, oh, well, this is objectionably, you know, better than this, or, you know, choice A is objectionably kinder than choice B, or, you know, like, you can say all those sorts of things, or this is the wrong way to do it, or this person's completely unethical, or, you know, they should have saved so-and-so because to kill them was the wrong answer. But, like, the truth is that the truth for everybody is very different. And that morality is just relative. It just depends on your perspective. It's underground again. I don't want to go underground. You can't make me. I'm gonna run away. So when it comes to the Fatui, right? Like, we can look at their actions and say, like, a lot of their actions are morally objectionable. right? But we can't exactly look at the Traveler and say that our actions are completely excusable either. Because depending on what you do in game, like, we're the cause of Senora's death, for one. Was that the right decision? Who knows? We understood what was happening. We knew what would happen if we beat her in combat, and we still challenged her anyway. So, to me, that at least suggests that we're not that different from the Fatui. Celestia nukes complete civilizations, but they might do that in order to protect more. In other words, sacrificing the few for the many. So, when it comes to saying, like, is there an evil force in Genshin? I don't think there is one. I don't even think the Abyss is inherently evil. And I think that's kind of the point of the game. You know, I think that's one of the biggest themes is that, like, a lot of your perspective on history and the events that happen really depend on what side you were on and what you saw, what you witnessed, right? Because it's impossible for a human to be completely objective. It's impossible. Like, it goes against everything humans are to be completely objective. So I don't think Irminsul is evil. I think Irminsul is one of those things that's doing exactly what it was designed to do, but it's basically a computer. One of the things that was said to me during my computer science courses in college, when I was trying to debug something and I'm like, why won't this thing do what I tell it to? My professor said, it is doing what you tell it to. I don't know why I bursted there. Don't worry about it. And I was like, what do you mean it's doing what I tell it to? It's just like, it's doing what you told it to. It's just not doing what you want it to. And that's kind of one of the differences between, you know, something that can't empathize or make its own decisions versus something that can. Because a computer is like a completely rational thing, right? It's just crunching numbers. It's running through its instructions. It's doing exactly what it's been told to do. It doesn't have any method to be able to discern whether it's morally reprehensible to perform such actions. It doesn't look at your phone and be like, oh, you know what? It's actually like an invasion of privacy if I track my owner's location using their GPS and send it to this third party. It doesn't do that. It's just like, oh, my programming says do X, Y, and Z, so I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And I think that's exactly what Irminsul does. But yeah. Computers do what you tell them to do. They just don't always do what you want them to do. As a programmer, these are the words I live and die by. Mine. Mine. Sumeru is horrible for my sense of hoarding. I don't actually hoard a lot IRL, but I hoard a lot in games. Not that I farm a lot, but, you know. Anyway, I suppose you could take a look at it as Irminsul might be one of the greatest enemies of Teyvat, just because it's ends up not being what the people want. I could see that. I'm not convinced of it though. I think it would take quite a bit to convince me of that's the route they're gonna go. Well, I guess actually it wouldn't really take all that much. Because Dainsleif tells us exactly how the game's going to go. He's just like, well, we're going to defy this world with the power from beyond. So, like, there's something about the world that's controlling every aspect of their lives. And if that aspect is Irminsul, or if Irminsul is an aspect of whatever is controlling them, then yeah. I guess it would be the ultimate enemy, but I wouldn't call it evil. Evil implies intent. And then you have to have a perspective of someone who would see those things as evil, because it would go against you, but anyway. Hanashiro Sato! Thank you for the super chat. Hello, have you watched Made in Abyss? No, I haven't. I am aware of it, but it's a little bit not up my alley. I know it has a very interesting plot, but there's a lot there's a lot of really questionable things in there that I personally can't stomach for enjoyable reading material. So I haven't really done much to look into it. So there's that. Did I miss? I really wish Genshin would go back and, like, adjust some auto-targeting of older units to match newer standards. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. I don't think they will, but it'd be nice. Ciao, thanks. Thanks again for the super chat. Couldn't come up with a different word other than evil, but I guess more like sentient and sinister than it seems, I guess. Evil definitely wasn't the right word. Yeah, no, I know what you mean now. I get what you mean. I definitely... I agree that I think it's, probably not the best... It's a double-edged sword, we'll put it that way. It probably does a lot of good for the people of Tevat, but it probably is not doing them any favors either. I think that's fair. But again, you could look at cell phones and the internet and everything else and say the same thing, right? Like, yeah, it's nice and convenient, but, like, is it actually helping our world? You gotta wonder sometimes. Because it might not. Haru, who do you think Dainsleif is referring to when he said, "Show me that you are worthier than I to rescue her"? I don't honestly know. There are two possibilities. Either he's referring to someone like a primordial one, for example, that's been sealed away and for some reason can't escape, right? And we need to save her in order to save the world. Alternatively, it's possible that because they're using ether in all of their promotional material and including the Travail trailer as the Traveler, it's very possible that they are referring to Lumine and they're referring to the the Abyss one. Like, that's still a distinct possibility. I couldn't tell you which one I think is more likely because we don't know enough about Dainsleif. But I bet there's something up here. But I do wonder. I wonder if we do go the whole Honkai route, right? Like, Genshin being Project Arc and or Stigma, or, you know, I mean, like, it can be both, definitely. That's a possibility. I think it's possible that he'd be talking about Griseo in that case. Because she was the one on Arc, and there's a lot of stuff in Genshin that relates directly to her, too. So I think that's also a possibility. Like, I think in one of my videos I talked about, like, that there's a dreamer that's kind of holding the whole world together. And if I had to pick a potential... Oh my god. This is the most infuriating thing to climb. If I had to pick a Honkai character that I think would make for one of the best dreamers, like, best dreamer candidate, it would be Griseo, for sure. So that would be my pick. Oh my god. I hate climbing the Eshbada trees. It's okay, they hate me too. Mutual hatred. It's fine. It's totally fine. I have no idea where I'm going with this. Nope, nope, nope. Oh my god, for the love of God, Shao, please. Just climb to the tippy top and stay put. Stand on the invisible thing. What? Oh, whoa. Hey, look, there's a chest up there. Shall we go? Anyway. It's the one chest you couldn't get back to in 3.0. Really? I didn't do a whole lot of exploring in 3.0. I'm not... I did like mostly story exploring, quest exploring, that kind of stuff. Like all of the necessary things so that I could get all of... I could extract all of the story content. No! But I want to climb. So I'm gonna climb. Yay! Hello. I wish they made the wild animals more, a lot tougher. That'd be nice. I'm sure there's a better way to get up here than the way I did. Hooray! There is quality here. I don't know who's trying to shoot at me, though. But I wish they'd leave me alone so I can use my compass again. That'd be nice. The sky is so pretty. Look at it. It's so pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. Okay. This is annoying. Goodbye. Whee! Are you still following me? No, he's done. Okay, cool. Nah, there's still something down below. Down below. Whoop. What's following me? Oh. Back! Explosions! Spicy, spicy explosions. Time to go underground, my dudes. Who wants to go spelunking? Me, I want to go spelunking. I'm gonna wait. Anyway. Oh, it's even farther down below. Okay. We're really going spelunking. We need to go down, 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 da down, da down, 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 da down, da 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 down, down. I don't remember where the caves are, so we're just gonna run around till I find them. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. It's fine. So many pyro slimes. So many. Going around in circles now. Alright, goodbye, Mr. Churl. Hello, Lady Churl. Goodbye. How do I know their genders? I don't. I'm guessing. I have a, well, 30% chance of being right. I play gacha games, those are pretty good odds. Man. Everything's down below. Okay. Let's maybe, I don't know. Go down here or something. Wait, that's not right. Yes, it could be. Oh, no, this is where the Ashvata tree is. The cool one. I like this one. This one's cool. Hello, tree. It looks neat. Ooh. Oh, there's one even below here. There's one below here. Man. Elevation is... I don't like it. I guess we're going down. I could go the other way. What's my favorite fungi type? Wait, you mean in Genshin? Or like real fungus? Because I do like real fungus. This is probably not the right place to go because I'm going in the wrong direction now. Hold up. I can answer both. Oh boy, what a privilege. Privilege to answer both. Oh my god, it's still going down. So they must be like around here. Into the big wooden hole we go. I like those fungus that appear on Surumi Island. The ones I can never remember the name of. Hello, little dude. Hello, little dude. Oops. There we go. There's the chest. There it is. I feel smart. Lots of smartness in my head. Only sometimes. Now they're dead. The timing's not working. There we go. What? Come on. Rude. These guys are rude. I can't see anything. Come, yum, 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 yum. I do need Spectre stuff though, so that's nice. I feel like all of the characters I want to build use Spectre stuff. I was farming for handguards earlier, and I felt really bad for every person who had to farm handguards during Inazuma. Because I was lucky and like the characters that I wanted to play. Why is D-Luke on this team? What is this team? We don't ask questions. We don't ask questions. But yeah, handguards are a right pain in my tushy. Not to be confused with a pain in my right tushy. I do not know where the other totems might be. So there's that, I guess. It appears that I have missed like a whole little secret area. Halfway down the wooden hole. No, I won't stop calling it that. It's funny. Oh dear. What is wrong with the glitching? Jesus, sorry. I know we have next to no information on what Varka's expedition is about, but if you had to guess, what do you think it's about? I think he's hunting Abyss Order stuff. That's what I think. Because, like, So like if you know anything about like Signora's story, like they had expeditions where they went to the abyss. Right? Like Rostam was I'm pretty sure where they were going to the abyss and stuff. So like I'm just thinking that maybe Varka is doing some digging on the Abyss Order. Because like when you think about it, the only nation that's really had to have anything to do with the Abyss Order directly has been Mondstadt. Because like on the one hand, yes. You know, the Abyss Order did show up in Enkanomiya, but like Inazuma didn't really have an Abyss Order problem. You know what I mean? And because they didn't have an Abyss Order problem, you can't really say like they had the Abyss Order. Like so like the Abyss Order comes and they kind of like do something completely unrelated to the nation, and it's not really the nation's problem. The only place it's actually been a problem is in Mondstadt. Which is why I'm like, I think Varka is investigating something relating to the Abyss. Which is probably why he was collaborating with Capitano. At one point. That's what I think. Also, it's okay to ask, what happened with Kale's story from the manga, or is that non-canon? Asking because I found out about that recently. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think a couple of things happened. I think when the manga was created, it was kind of like pre-Genshin as we know it, you know? And because it was pre-Genshin as we know it, oh look, I have it at 100 now. Yay! I think I'm at 100 everywhere. Oh no, except Avidia Forest. I guess we're going over here. Because it was very early on in the development of the story, I think the writers kind of didn't like where a lot of the story beats they took went. So I think they found some ways to retcon without actually completely invalidating the story. Which is fine, you know? Like, they actually gave Kale's sickness a name, so that's cool. And then they kind of changed her into a whole different person, but they kind of make it work, because, you know, she was very young. So a lot of her actions you could just blame on the rebellion of youth kind of thing, youth rebel nature. But the reason why I think things are a little funky story-wise with the manga is because of Dottore and because of the direction they went with him. I think originally they wanted to do something different with Dottore. There's no way I will believe that they planned to have like a dozen clones and that they're all super goofy or deadly or whatever right from the manga. You know, like I don't believe that for a second. So I also don't believe that Dottore was always intended to be like second in command or at least ranked number 2. Like there's a lot of things that just don't quite add up, and I think they retconned, but they retconned in a way where it wouldn't invalidate the previous story. So I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock into the manga. Like, it's nice to have some additional context, but like in hindsight after Sumeru, it's very difficult to look at the manga and say like, yeah, okay, it makes perfect linear sense that they presented the story to us in this way and then we got Sumeru. Like, there definitely was a lot of changes that the writers wanted to make between now and then. No. Oh dear. Okay, well that didn't work. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll see. Did you know you can play music every day for the tree that grows where you fought the avatar of Mirana? Yes, I did. I go there once in a while. Once in a while. It's just a very pretty atmosphere, so sometimes I just kind of chill down there. Yum, blum, 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 blum. Oh. Okay. Given the new information about the Abyss Twin, do you think the Battle Pass story represents the twins? No, but I think the twins are on a journey similar to the people who were in the Battle Pass. I think that the story of the Battle Pass is older than we think it is, and you gotta remember, Venti tells it to us like it's a legend. And so it makes me feel like it happened before we came. But because he also says this is your story, it makes me think that he's basically immortalizing our story in song and legend, because fiction doesn't seem to be something affected by Irminsul, because it's fictional. So it has no reason to update anything, you know? So that's kind of where my head's at right now. But I do think that the Battle Pass is describing a story of the Descenders. I just don't think it's the fourth Descender. How's that? How is that? The Genshin manga ended roughly 8 months before the Travail trailer came out, so a lot of time to refine things. Yeah, you'll notice they never actually released the final few chapters on the website either. Like, you actually have to go to a scanlation site to read the rest of them. They're just not available in English. But like, okay, so a couple of reasons why I'm leaning towards the whole retcon thing. Has to do with Kaya's vision, right? Because like, if you look in the manga that's on the main website, Kaya does not have a vision in the scene where Diluc's father dies. But if you go to a scanlation site where you can see like the older versions of the comic before they updated some of the artwork and the pages and stuff, you'll see that Kaya has a vision already when he goes to meet Diluc, where Crepus died, in that same shot. So what that tells me is that they changed Kaya's vision story. And Travail is interesting because there's a lot of stuff in there that is good, and it gives you like a really vague roadmap, but that's what it is, right? It's a very vague roadmap, and it's intentionally vague because it gives them a lot of room to change things up if they need to. Which is a neat way to go with it, you know? Because it gives them a framework that they can kind of stick to. But it means that they're not beholden to any one idea. They just have some general themes that they know they're going to stick to, and that's what they tell us in the most cryptic language possible. So that's one thing about Travail. You know that they changed a bunch of stuff from Sumeru, from Travail, because if you look at the data mines of the Dendro gemstone, the Nahida gemstone, before Sumeru came out, the lines on it are completely different. Completely different. And you can tell that they had a completely different story in mind when they wrote the text for that gemstone. So, yeah, retcon. Retcon, gotta find your retcon. Whack, whack, whack. Dabba-doo. Anyway, on the topic of Venti, do you think Venti will get a second story quest and possibly weekly boss? Oh my god, please. Anytime would be nice. I would love a Venti second story quest. I actually wonder if we won't get it in January. Because we have to go back to Mondstadt soon. Narratively, we need to go back to Mondstadt soon. And in Sumeru, we've just found out that the timeline can be altered. Venti has all of these really suspicious connections with time. I did it! Yay, that was the last chest I needed. Now it's time to... Oh no, I did this one too. Yay, look, I have Sumeru all at 100%. I am a sad individual. Yeah, so Venti's got a lot of like really suspicious associations with time and stuff, right? So now that we've learned, we've gotten the context for a second story quest with what happened with the tree and what Irminsul is actually capable of. We've got a lot of Irminsul lore. Nahida is around now so that we can reference her. Like, now that we have all of those things, now is a fantastic time for us to go back and confront Venti. And have Venti actually, like, tell us something. Because he's so evasive. And probably with good reason, but, you know. Thing is, every Archon's second story quest so far has had a weekly boss. So if we time the weekly bosses, right? We've just, okay. We've had Scaramouche in 3.2. When was our last weekly boss? The last weekly boss would have been the Shogun, right? When was that? Was that 2. What? When was the Shogun boss battle? Yeah, it should be January or February, right? 2.5. Yeah, they're going to start increasing the weekly bosses, I think. I think, let's see, it'll be 3.3 in December, 3.4 in February. Okay, so let's say 3.5 because 3.4 is Lantern Rite. So that'd be March into April, into spring. Yeah. That'd be my guess for stuff. But I also think this winter, this December, we're probably going to get some foreshadowing on potential Venti stuff. I'm still convinced of that because I don't think we're getting an Albedo quest this December. No Dragon Spine. I'm convinced of that. What are my thoughts on the previous... why am I climbing? Why am I climbing? Let me out! Let me out! Sorry. What was that? What are my thoughts on my previous star theory that has been in 1.5? Many versions. Okay, which star theory? I have a lot of star theories. Are you talking about Starkeeper Paimon, or are you talking about the false sky? False Sky. I think the False Sky video I made is, I think, the one that's aged the best out of all of the ones I've made. There's a couple of things I'd change in there just because of updated information, but like overall, that video is still really solid. It's still a theory that I believe in. Every patch that comes out, I get a new little nugget of information that helps to support it. It's probably time to go through it and just make an update. But I'm probably gonna do radiation, like the radiation vision one first. I'm gonna redo that one first, I think. And soon, because I want to incorporate false knowledge. Or, sorry, not false knowledge, forbidden knowledge. We used to think Venti wasn't valid for saying an Archon's power comes from their people's faith, but Nahida now mentions it, and she's more reliable. What does that say about Venti? This is where I think Venti is still not reliable, and neither is Nahida. Because you have to define power at that point. And I think power isn't necessarily a strength, but perhaps a level of influence. And then you have to ask yourself, well, influence over what? Or power over what, right? Like, it's not... I still don't think it's that simple. Because Venti is like literally the only god that has an entire religion and a church dedicated entirely to him. The Animo Archon. He's got like the big statue. He's got a whole friggin' church. He's got, you know, believers up the wazoo. Everyone in Mondstadt is like nuts for the Animo Archon, right? And Liyue, you can argue the same, but Liyue doesn't have like a temple or a religious thing. They just, you know, structure their day-to-day to match Morax's teachings, so to speak. And A is an authoritative figure. She's basically like,
Another test subject.
you know, a ruler of a nation more than she's a deity. Like, she is a deity, but she functions more like a king or a ruler. So I think it's weird that Venti, the god that theoretically should have the most, how to put it, the most faithful followers and believers, that he's the one that's the weakest, and yet Archons derive their power from the faithful. Like, that's the part that I don't get. That, I think, is still suspicious. And that's why I think he's still unreliable. Kira, thank you for your super chat. So I was pretty bummed that Lisa or Diluc had no involvement in Sumeru, but now it's understandable. The characters of Sumeru needed their own time to shine, but later Archon quests will involve Lisa. I kind of hope so. I'm honest, I'm a little surprised too. I was disappointed. I thought at least Lisa or Kale would bring us to Sumeru, because like they didn't have to do anything there, but it would have been nice if they were the ones to take us to Tignari and all that kind of stuff. I get why they didn't, but I almost wonder if they had intended to at some point. But I have my own thoughts about Lisa, and I still think she'll be important as a player in Sumeru, but I think it's just not apparent why yet. I don't think we've had the quests that are relevant enough to make that apparent to us as of yet. But yeah. I'm actually, honestly, more miffed about Kale than I am about Lisa. Because, like, Lisa, on the one hand, I kind of get, because I don't think she's actually from Sumeru. She's from Mondstadt, as far as we know. So, like, at that point, it kind of makes sense, you know? Like, I get it. But, like, I'm a little more miffed about Kale. Because we had an NPC in Dunyarzad, right? With Elazar and everything else, and Dunyarzad got so much more screen time than Kale, even though Kale is playable. And it's just one of those things where I feel like MiHoYo didn't really make good use of the tools they had, like the pieces they had already crafted. You know what I mean? Like, with a couple of tweaks, they could have made Kale the Dunyarzad in Sumeru City. Easily. They could have. But they didn't. Right. Which, again, I still think is in part due to their retcons. But what do I know? What do I know? I still believe higher level spirits like gods and archons have the ability to collect faith through their elevated access to the ley lines. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I'm still looking for evidence of it. Because, like, they can say it until they're blue in the face, but, like, I need something. They need to prove it to me, you know? I need something substantial. Something I can sink my teeth into and dissect, and I got nothing. I got nothing. It's kind of why I still don't believe the Fatui are ranked entirely by combat ability. Even if Child says so. Just because there is no way in hell I believe that Child is weaker than a banker. I do not believe that. I refuse to believe that. I don't even like Child, and I refuse to believe that. Not only that, the banker's also, like, stronger than both Marionette and Arlecchino. Like, what? Or, sorry, Marionette or Arlecchino. And that's where I don't know. I'm still... Luma, could it be based off of how much they rely on the Archon instead of faith or belief? It's more of like how they believe they need their god. Yeah. I think that's probably more likely than straight up belief in them, but belief in their reliance on their god. That would make more sense. That would definitely make more sense. Banks have a lot of power, yes, but they don't have a lot of combat power. Do you go to your bank and they, like, give you a flamethrower as, like, a thanks for banking with us gift? Like, no. They can fund war efforts and stuff, but that's still not combat power. I mean, that's a mistranslation. He said ability in Chinese. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. But later, I think it said somewhere else in the Archon quest that they're ranked by combat strength again. But ability makes way more sense to me. Or even value. But, like, when it comes from Child, he's such a combat junkie that it just makes sense to me that he would be a somewhat unreliable narrator and say, yeah, we're all based on... Because, like, think about it this way. If they were all if they were all ranked based on combat strength, don't you think at some level it would have occurred to some of the lower ranked ones to challenge the higher ranked ones in combat and then take their rank? Like, there would just be infighting all over the place unless they, like, there was that much of a gap that no one ever wanted to challenge the one above them. And that I don't buy for a second, because it's already been proven that the Harbingers are looking to increase their prestige and rankings among the Fatui. You know? How about Yaemiko's story quest? The people of Inazuma were reciting a prayer of sorts to assist in passing the yokai to the afterlife. Yeah, but we also saw the will of the people defeat A in combat during the Archon quest. So you could say that people united could be like the army of a god and therefore lends the god's strength. But, like, I don't think there's a direct correlation to a god's strength and the people's faith in them. But if you think of them as, like, a general of an army of humans, then yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. Who do you think in the Fatui will be the ones to collect the next 4 Gnosis? I'm convinced it's Arlecchino, Colombina, Capitano, and Syndrome. I don't know who I think it'll be, but I know who I'd like it to be. I would like it to be both Colombina and Arlecchino in Fontaine. Because I kind of want Sandrone or Sandrone. I think the E is pronounced. I want Marionette and Capitano to work together in Natlan. But we also have to remember it's quite possible that we won't get like 1 or 2 harbingers per nation. We might even get like 3. We might get recurring ones. Like Dottore might come back in Fontaine. He might come back in... He might come back in... Ah! See, Luke, I'm not good at using you. He might come back like multiple times, and that might be the case for several harbingers. Like we might meet them and have like encounters with them, and then not see them for a long time. Or they'll just keep popping back up. Because, like, we only had Senora for, like... Well, we had Senora for... And it was just Senora for Mondstadt. And then we had Senora and Child for Liyue. And then we had Senora and Scaramouche in Inazuma. And then we had Dottore and Scaramouche in Sumeru. So maybe we're due for another Harbinger. Maybe we're due. Might be that time. Teacup in Space, thanks for your super chat. Always a joy to see you streaming. I don't get to do it very often, but it is fun when I get around to doing it. I like hanging out with you guys. You guys are chill and cool. Got a cool chat. What? Poosh. I'm not gonna stream for much longer though. Just cause it's getting late. And it's a work day. Work night. Work night. Look, I swear to God. Just plunge. Attack. Attack. Smack. Oh my God, please crit. I don't have a very well built Diluc. Don't judge me. He's not built that well. Yeah, he's not built that well. Yep. Yep. Anywho, I have resin, which means I'm gonna go do one more run. I just want Zhongli's Archon hoodie skin. Yeah, I get that. I really wish they'd do more skins. I do. Like, I feel like it'd be so cool for them to do more skins. And you know, even... I'm gonna try this team. It's gonna be horrible, but I'm gonna do it. I don't understand why they don't do more skins. Fundamentally do not understand why they don't do more skins. Even just recolors, I feel like would sell really well. Bum, 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 bum. This is a weird team that's not designed to actually function together. Sometimes teams that are completely out of sync with each other can just be fun. Yep. Okay. Anyway. Oh, did my bitrate die? Sorry. That's probably a sign for me to stop, actually. If my bitrate's dying. What do you mean a full attack D-Luke doesn't work well with reaction-based supports? I mean, he has some EM. He has 84. That's something. It's something. I mean, his artifacts aren't terrible. And they're not great, but they're not terrible. I have a better cup. Oops. Yes, and for some reason it's on Bennett. Why is it on Bennett? It's an excellent question. Don't know why it's on Bennett. I wonder... can I build him better? That's yen face. Yeah, probably not. I don't think I can build him better right now. Well, he's a little... Well, he's a little better. No, not you. He's a little better. He's not horrible. We could give him, like, Serpent Spine or something. He'd be alright. Lem? Lem? What? I missed a super chat. What? I'm sorry. Oh, Fireball 765. Thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry I almost missed you. Good God. Thank you guys for pointing that out. Were you prepared for the idea that history could be rewritten? Yes, but not to the extent that it was. I thought that item descriptions and books would be immune. I didn't think that it would change as much as it does. Like, I thought it would change people's memories, but I thought that, you know, like character stories, that not voice lines, but item descriptions, weapon lore, artifact lore, books, and that kind of stuff. I thought that stuff would all remain untouched. I really did. I didn't think they'd go the full 9 yards or whatever, but just because they already had put such an emphasis on memory being so important and stuff in Genshin, you know, the whole memories and elemental energy flow within the ley line kind of thing. Like, I was prepared for memory loss and restricted memories and all of that kind of stuff, like raw data accumulation, but I was not prepared for the extent at which they deleted things and rehashed it. Was not prepared for that bit. Yeah. Like, I expected the Aranara not to lose their memory. I really did. I thought it would only affect humans. So I thought Archons would still know what happened. I thought the Aranara would still know what happened. I thought, like, the Adepti would still know what happened. Like, that kind of... I didn't think it would be as extensive. Bum 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 bum. No. It's not healthy. And I'm a picky eater. I'm not, but... It's funnier if I am. I ain't gonna eat your dirt. That's nasty. Dum-ba-dum-bum. Burn, burn, burn! For no other reason, just because I can. Woohoo! This team is horrendous. Why did I have this team set up? Why did I do this? Should at least make something... you know what? Hold up. I'm gonna make a D-Luke team. I'm gonna make a D-Luke team real quick. Hold up. I'm gonna do... Let's make this fun. Maybe?
May knowledge guide you.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Let's do something fun, right? Fun? Fun teams? Let's try it. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Okay, that was probably kind of dumb. In hindsight, that was kind of dumb. I have both Hydro and Pyro on my sword right now. But only Pyro is active. That was dumb. That was dumb. It was pretty dumb. But that's okay. I'm allowed to be dumb. Whoosh. No fall damage. Is it because this thing can fly? Oh, it sent me flying. That's okay. I can't see what's happening! Am I hitting anything? I don't know! This angle's fun. Okay, this team is kind of bad, but that's okay. It's a little bit better than the other one. Maybe if I set it up actually correctly and did like a proper rotation like a good player, but I don't wanna. You can't make me. I have the controller and you don't. Okay, I'm done. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. Am I pulling for Scaramouche? Of course I'm pulling for Scaramouche. I am getting at least Constellation 3. At least Constellation 3. That's the goal. Hang on. I wanna yeet him at the... Okay. Hold up. Damn it. I wanna yeet a slime at the barrel. I wanna yeet a slime at the barrel. It's not working. Okay, fine. Well. I wanted to eat a slime at the banner, it didn't work. Am I hoping to pull Farazan as well? Yes. I mean, if I'm pulling for Constellation 3, I am definitely gonna get some Farazan copies. Like, it's not possible that I don't. Well, okay, I guess it's possible, but it's extremely unlikely. I can't tell if anything's even being added into him. Candace doesn't work that well, does she? That's unfortunate. Oh well. Harley said to donate, may your editor spend it on Scara too. I don't know if he likes Scara actually, but I'll ask him. Thanks, Grass. What if she's on a separate banner? Okay, if Farazan's on a separate banner, I'm not pulling for her. But I feel like it's very unlikely that she'll be on a separate banner. Because the way she's looking... she's probably gonna end up being a Goro for Animo. You know what I mean? Any thoughts or opinions on Layla? Yeah, I think she's related to Seelies. Really do. I don't think she, like, is a Seelie. I think she may be descendants of a Seelie. Who do I think the other descenders are? I talked about it earlier. I don't know that I'm gonna go back and do that. Am I pulling Scarra's signature weapons? It depends. If it ends up not being pretty cool, like, okay, so whether or not I pull for his weapon depends entirely on my luck. Because I don't think I don't think I'm gonna hit 100K, and I think my estimates for like a C6 R1 has to be like around 120K Primo Gems. I'm not confident that I'll have that many, and I'm pretty sure Alhaitham is gonna show up sooner rather than later. And I really want one copy of him, and I'm not quite sure C6 Scaramouche is worth it right now. Just because I have seen his kit, and that's just my opinion of it for right now. I'm more than happy to go to C3, for sure. But I don't think C6 is game breaking. You know what I mean? So, you know, but I don't have the best luck. Most of the time I hit pity, and oftentimes I lose my 50-50. And my early 5 stars are very few and far between, if at all. And the weapon banner either adores me or despises me, and I have to epitomize. I either get double 5 stars on the weapon banner, or I have to epitomize at high pity. Like, there's no in between. So, like, whether or not I go for a signature depends entirely on my luck. Because I want to save about 20,000 gems or so for Alhaitham. Since I'm skipping Nahida and he's Dendro, I think it's important that I do that. So, anyway. More reason to put her in another banner. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I don't think they will, because like Goro always runs with Ito now. Just like how Sara always runs with Raiden. I feel like Faruzan's always gonna run with either Xiao or Scaramouche. That's just what I think. So I am doubting his C6. I'm allowed to doubt his C6. He's already cool, though. Also, thank you for a super chat. It's based on both. It's based on both. Like, obviously, anything that is currently leaked right now is obviously subject to change. So, like, a lot could change between now and then. It's just, like, my opinion based on the things I've seen so far. Also, I know this isn't official, but like I can't see Scar being anything besides a catalyst. Like, period. Except I guess maybe an Animo sword unit. But like if he's a catalyst, like Animo catalysts do not need anything, really. Because like no matter what happens, you can always just turn them into a full EM swirl machine, and they'll be great. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know how useful constellations are, because there's no way they're going to make him a support. Can you imagine that guy supporting others? Like, that's no. That's not going to happen. So, you know. Just my thoughts on it, but. I can't see a staff or spear because all of his history is in swords. All of his history is in swords. So he'd have a sword, maybe a claymore, but I'm going for catalyst on the basis that in the Unreconciled Stars event, he deliberately says he used his magic on people. And the only other character I think that's referenced using magic or being called a magic user is Yenfei. And she is a catalyst. Therefore, I think Scaramouche would be a catalyst. And that's just me thoughts. Me thoughts on that. That's just me thoughts. But yeah, I would prefer if you guys did not share leaks in chat. You can share your opinions based on what you've seen. That's fine. Because it's vague. It's not telling anybody anything. I think that's okay. That's my take. So long as you're not spoiling the experience for anyone, I think it's fine. That's my opinion. What's the reason for the redesign, though, and why make his name as Wanderer? I touched on it a bit in the video that I made recently. I think a TLDR on that is more like... Come on. There it goes. I think the TLDR on that is that it's just a different phase of his life. Like, if you look at the Husk of Opulent Dream set, it specifically says that Kabuki plays have 3 acts. And in Chinese, it says those acts are coming to an end. And you can actually tie each act to, like, one of the betrayals, so to speak. So, post-betrayals, he would be a pretty different person without the Fatui. And I've always hypothesized him as the Raijin to, you know, Raiden's Raijin. Or the Fujin to Raiden's Raijin. I don't know what it... Did I say Raiden? Too many Jins. So he just makes sense like that. Plus, right now, the way he is... I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, but he is basically like a walking Buddhist monk. Like, he's like a monk. He's got all of these monk references. So many Buddhist references. So many throughout his entire design. And a lot of them I can't share because it's based on his model, which is not official yet. But even the ones that you can see in his official art, you can kind of get a good feel for. But because of those, like, he has the makings of kind of like a bodhisattva. I can't pronounce it without looking at it on paper. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say it wrong. Like a bodhisattva? Is that right? Something like that. Like a living Buddha on Earth, one that decides to not participate in one that decides to stay within the samsara and help other people escape the samsara. He has more of that kind of vibe, which really fits with his relationship with Nahida. So I think that's it. And like he said, when he became a god, he cast away the name Kunikazushi, which was the one that he gave himself. And he's obviously not Scaramouche anymore because he's not a Fatui Harbinger. So at that point, who is he? And if you look at the Husk of Opulent Dreams set, there's actually some references to people who just call him Wanderer. So I guess that's just his identity until he figures out what one he wants. But, you know. Yeah, that one. Trading for it. Fireball, thanks for your super chat. One leak I saw said something about permanent feature that might introduce trading for it. So a warning to all, please be careful with your account information. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Guys, don't give away your account passwords or login information. Make sure you've got 2-factor turned on or at least linked to your HoYoLab account. I've had a lot of people get hacked because they've used insecure passwords and they've, you know, let people take control of their account for like a week or so, or, you know, like there's a lot of those. Don't give people your login information, regardless of whatever comes in the future. Just don't do it. The web developer in me will cry if you do it. I will be so upset. That is one thing, when a lot of streamers pull on other people's accounts, like, I won't tell anybody not to do it, but, like, it's one of those things that really squicks me, because, like, as a person who works with a lot of proprietary client data, you know, trying to protect people's privacy and stuff, when they give me private information, I'm kind of like, this hurts me on a physical level. Like, I know you guys wouldn't actually do anything bad with this, but, like, it actually physically hurts me. I'm so sorry. It's like, I can't get around it. It's kind of like online banking. I can't do online banking because I just, like, I know how those softwares are built, and, like, I just can't bring myself to use them as a result. I just can't. Absolutely can't.
There you are, eavesdropper.
IP Coffee, thank you for your super chat. And thank you for your cup of coffee. I don't think I'm gonna drink it, because suspicious origins, but you know, it's yeah. Yeah. Who do I main? Oh, I'm gonna stick around for like 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna head off. I main currently Ayato, Xiao, Ito, and Kaya, and Yenfei. Yeah.
Hope the Knights of Favonius are
Yeah.
working hard.
Do you think we're living in a samsara in real life? Like there's a multi-universe theory in Hinduism that our world are on, or are one of them. Same as the multiple domain in Tevat. Thoughts? I feel like it's too late at night to discuss multiverse theories. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna go into quantum physics right now. I can't do it. I actually don't want to create anything right now. So I'm gonna save this for next week. But do I want anything in here, I wonder? No, let's get some blueprints. Let's get some blueprints. Am I wasting my currency on things? Yeah, I mean, I guess kind of probably. I'm gonna get a flag, and a building, and another building, and another building, and another building, and another building. Another one, another one, another one, another one. And that, yeah. Got a lot of stuff. Woohoo! I like to collect the things, and one day I will actually do a teapot stream. One day. Not today, but one day. I will do that. Do you think there's any merit to the theories that Columbina is what a Seelie originally was, or the Princess of Selvendignir? Oh, the Princess of Selvendignir is one I haven't heard yet. That's one I have not heard. That's an interesting idea, actually. I mean, I've heard the Seelie one a lot. Like, a lot. I've heard that one so many times. And I think that one does have merit, but it's more about, like I mentioned earlier, what a Seelie actually is. Because I think they're a type of entity. I just don't think they're necessarily like one specific entity. Like, I think there are easily descendants of Seelies and all this other kind of stuff around us. So I don't necessarily think that her being a Seelie would necessarily mean that she's particularly unique, I guess. But I could see it being a cool thing. You know. Do you realize Genshin impact ancient kingdom guardians behind the scenes of the creation of ruin monsters, saying that Conria is an underground country? Yeah, I mean, we already knew Conria was underground. Albedo told us that. We've known it's underground for like a long time. It's nice for them to tell us things outright, though. I mean, that's always nice. We don't get that very often. Imagine if Jean has a swimsuit skin right now. I was about to say, like, I could put it on her, and then I realized I don't actually have it. I didn't buy it. I don't use Jean enough to justify the skin. Yeah. Do I think there's such thing as an unseelie? Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have a pretty good video for you guys. Yeah. I have a pretty good video for you guys on all about Sealies. All about Sealies. Promise. I was gonna relate it to the goddess of time, and it just makes it so long, and I keep spinning my head on whether I want to put that in there or not. But not important, but who is Klee's dad? Oh, he's an adventurer. That's all we know. Yep. Videos. No. I am doing one Sealy video. One Sealy video. One Sealy video. That's it. But yeah. I'm actually gonna head off, I think. I think that's enough for today. My voice is starting to go. That's how I usually know it's time. No plurals. I want to cover more topics. So sometimes I think what I need to do is present people with ideas that have some solid backing that then other people, if they are so inclined, can expand upon. And I should not do the expanding upon. Because if I do all of the expanding upon, then I lose the ability to cover other topics and do the same things that might tickle other parts of other brains of other people. And I like to tickle as many brains as possible in one sitting. You guys are so mean. One video only. We'll see how well that will age. Listen. I've already wrote the Sealy video, okay? It just needs some tweaks based on some new information. It still works. It still works. Tickle brains with it. You don't like tickling brains? I love tickling brains. It's like my favorite pastime. I got feathers on my fingertips, just like shelling them in your ears, going blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's great. Okay, yeah, it's true. I did write the Sealy video 5 times. This is gonna be my 6th rewrite of it. Except this one's just gonna be a revision with some little additions and a couple of tweaks for fact checking. But you know, anyway, thank you guys so much for showing up. I'm trying to stream a little bit more regularly. I think. Well, I say that every time and then I don't. I'm trying. Doesn't mean I will, but I'm trying. Anyway. Anyway. We should see all the previous scripts as compensation for one video. It's in my revision history. But what I could do is share with you my notes, which are actually more words than my script. Which is sad. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna peace out. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. I appreciate it. I appreciate all y'alls. I got good content coming up. I know it's been kind of sparse lately, but we got so much. We're gonna have a couple of chill patches, I think, so that'll help. So, good night. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Farewell. And give yourself a hug. I know it's awkward, but you know, hug yourself.